Welcome back to the channel, welcome back to a new video, which is basically a follow-up of my previous of iRacing paints. In this video we're going to break down more specifically the things around the custom spec maps. In previous video we went through every stage of creating a gradient onto the car, tweaking the car in a way that there is no color banding inside the game as well, and we put on a basic color coating and reflection, which was perfectly as it was for my intention on the car. However, and thank you for watching the video, I got some comments asking me to go a little bit deeper into the whole custom spec map, and specifically how can I make something like Chrome. A spec map is a way how the shaders in the game are interacting with light and reflections. Instead of creating a certain color on the car, we use the custom spec map, which is divided in basically 4 channels: red, green, blue and alpha, how the light should be broken up or reflecting on the surface of the car. Now, in the previous video, for my purpose and intent, I used a certain way on how to deal with those reflections in my red, green and blue channels. And while making this video, I learned that is not holding up to what we are going to do today. So be ready. So here we are in GIMP, where we can see our paint of last time, where we made a nice gradient on the car and we put some stickers on there as well with the logo of the YouTube channel. And we can see we did that all in the printable area. Before we dive into the real changes that we're going to do to make something really shiny and chrome, let's recap a little bit, because it is very important to understand how this is working within GIMP. So you are working with different layers in the printable area to make the colors of the car. The base paint is completely at the bottom, and everything you put on top is actually going to be on top. The stickers, for example, are on top of the paint. If I would put it below it, then the sticker would be gone. That's a very crucial thing to understand. That is happening the same with the custom spec map. And here I replaced my original spec map from the previous video with the standard spec map that was coming out of the template. And there are a couple of things to note here as well. For example, the red and the green channel are basically groups and the blue channel is not. Most of the times you can even ignore the blue channel. To make sure that the custom spec map is really working like it should, then we also need to do a couple of modifications. For example, if I look at the red channel and the complete custom spec map group, then you will see that the mode is set to normal. So what we need to do is to have these groups set to addition. They all need to be addition. I've been playing around with it because I couldn't get it to work initially, and that was basically the reason why it didn't work. Now for that blue channel, let's make a group out of it. Just click it and say I'm gonna add a new layer group, and we're gonna rename that one to the blue channel Clearcoat. And I'm gonna drag the original one in there, and I'm gonna just say this is the blue base paint, just to name it correctly. Let's make sure that the new group is also called in the mode addition, and then we are good. All the rest can be normal. So what we're going to do is we're going to make sure that the complete car is completely matte, without any luminance, reflections or whatever, and we're gonna make a high glossy rear bumper all together in this one template. The next thing that I learned along the way is that this whole layer here, turn off before exporting the TGA, that was something really helpful that I didn't know before. Drag it completely on top. this one has some nice things in there because I can switch on the wire view. And the wire view will give me the exact geometry and also how things are bent around the geometry of the car. And that gives me the possibility to mask a certain piece of geometry very cleanly. And what I also learned, if I zoom in a little bit and I go to the bumper, then you see I have different pieces of geometry here. And what you need to make sure of, if you're gonna draw some lines on it, you can draw the lines between the green lines over here, and then you're always good. Then you have always covered the complete surface once it's wrapped around the car. This is very helpful. If we look at the paintable area, this is where we really put color on the geometry. And while we have colors here as well, they actually mean something else within iRacing. For your convenience, I created a nice overview of what it now exactly means. Let me pull it up over here. I made this and I'm gonna make sure you can download it via the link in the description as well. I made this overview as a kind of a reference card, which you can use for your own. And it's all in the eye of the beholder and your personal taste, how you're gonna use the values. So if we look at the red channel, which is basically controlling how metallically looking the surface of the car is going to be. And the lower the value or the higher the value, as you can see, the higher the value, it gives a more polished look. And that means if we take the red color and we put it into the layer of the red channel and we make it completely red, or we shift it downwards to the black, that means how much of reflection or metallic you will see within the car. The same goes for the green channel, but that's basically the other way around. It means that the lower the value is, the smoother the surface is, and how higher the value, the rougher. There are some grains on it even. So light projecting on your surface of the car will scatter and not reflect at all. And then we have that clear coat, where there is no clear coat if it's completely black. And the more blue you make it, the more glossy it becomes. You can easily overdo it with the blue one, and then everything becomes like fake and plastically, and that's not what you should do. But of course you can play around with these three colors to make your own feel on what you want. And here down below I have a couple of overviews how that should look like if you use certain values of red, green and blue, what kind of an effect that will eventually bring. There's one thing to keep in mind though. If you want to have chrome, that is not gonna work with these settings if the paint you have been using is red or blue. It should be white. That is the only way how you can make sure that something is completely chrome. Let's make our car completely matte. Instead of creating like I did before with the mode multiply, a layer which was completely red, which was completely green, and then use a gray scale to make sure that the base paint is adding that towards the complete custom spec map, we do it differently. I'm going to paint this base paint with as black as possible green, if that makes sense. We select the base paint layer, we go to our color window, we make sure we switch on the red channel, and if I pull this to the right and to the left, you will see that it is, oh, the blue is also on. Let's put everything to 0. Then we can drag this between black and red on a scale of 100. In the reference card, I used a scale of 0 towards 255, and you can easily do that by clicking on this button here. And now you can see it goes into the values of 255 to 0. So I enable the red channel and I want it no metallic at all. So drag it to 0, I press OK, and we need to switch on the complete layer here, because otherwise I cannot paint it. And we have the bucket fill foreground color, and we're just gonna fill it. That's it. You don't really see it, right? No worries. Now for the green one, I want it to be as coarse as possible to make sure there are no reflections at all. So we select the base paint of the green channel. We go back to our color. Now we switch on the green channel and we make it as bright as possible, just to exaggerate the matte of the car. And we're gonna paint it. All of a sudden it looks like this, right? So in the end it means that depending on what you put on top and so forth, it's going to be completely washed out. And that is why this wire view will definitely come in handy. And we can export, and I'm not gonna repeat that as everything like that is mentioned in the previous video. The end result in the iRacing GUI, you can see that it is completely matte. There is no gloss whatsoever in there. And also if we would look in game, then it would look indeed like this, where you can see there is no gloss. And I specifically created a screenshot in game as well, because as I told you before, the way how the in-game shaders are working compared to what you can see here in the UI is a little bit different. And it shows definitely when we're going to work with Chrome as well. I'm going to change the rear bumper into Chrome. I will need to make sure that in my printable area, the bumper is really going to be almost white. I'm going to switch on my wire view again, like I mentioned before, because that is really helpful to make sure we can paint this. So what we want to do is we need to paint our bumper almost white, a little bit off-white. We're gonna create a new layer. Where is it? We're gonna create a new layer and we're gonna call it bumper. It's transparent, it's normal, okay, and we're gonna just put it just above the paint. Now we are going to mask our bumper. And we're going to paint it with that color. The next thing we're going to do, we're going to select this one, say Ctrl Alpha to selection. We're going to create a new layer in the red channel above my parts, and a new layer. I'm going to call it bumper metallic, if I can type. We make sure that it is transparent and a normal. And this time we're gonna put this completely to red to make it as metallic as possible. We put the colors to red, and we're gonna activate, of course, the custom spec map, otherwise we cannot paint. And then we're gonna fill it. There we go. So this part is now filled, as you can see on top here, with red. That is the most metallic that you can get. In the green channel, we need to make sure that we are not dispersing any of the light, so we need to make it as black as possible. And here also a new layer, and we're gonna call it bumper roughness. Transparent, normal, okay. And now we're gonna say, we're gonna make this from the green channel almost black, but let's give it a little bit of roughness, just a little bit. And again, we're gonna paint it. There we go. If we zoom out, we can see that it gets all kind of nice colors over here. And that's the first part. I'm gonna export this and show you again how it looks like. If we look in iRacing GUI, then we can see indeed we have a shiny bumper. That's awesome. So let's look inside the game how that looks like, because again, this looks more grayish than it's really chrome, but that is due to the fact that how this user interface is working compared to the shader functionality in game. And here you can see how beautiful and shiny chrome, and all the rest is completely matte. But now there is another thing that we need to mention here. And that is because I have a sticker on my bumper as well. And everything that is white will be chrome-like now due to the fact that I put that color on top of it. And so if we look here, this white here will be reflecting exactly the same as we put on the bumper itself. So we need to change that a little bit. And what I'm going to do, I'm going to zoom in a little bit so we can see the sticker. And the sticker is of course in our printable area. Let's see, which one was it? It was that one. Now that you can see that I highlighted that sticker, the PNG that I used here is a rectangle. But if you zoom in, and let me zoom in a little bit more even, then it is feathered out. So basically the PNG is transparent, and then there is a feathering going on in the transparency with the pixels that are really colored. And the beauty of this is it is using that in the same way within the lightning reflection methods that iRacing is using. I'm going to use a different reflection kind of stuff on top to make sure that this sticker where the white is not also becoming more metallic. We want to have that sticker a vinyl kind of look, and for that reason we're going to use this geometry again to put on top of our bumper metallic and bumper roughness to make a sticker metallic, sticker roughness with some kind of values somewhere in the range of 80 that gives a vinyl kind of look. So for that reason we're going to make sure that we select it. We do a right mouse click, control and add to selection. The menu is falling off the screen, but I clicked alpha to selection. We're going to go to the red channel. We select the bumper metallic and add a layer on top of it called a sticker metallic. It's of course not going to be metallic, but it's in a metallic channel. Normal, transparency, we're going to give it a red color. Let's close down green because we only want to have a red in here, and somewhere around 80, 85, 86, a nice number. I'm gonna put it on here and paint it. There we go. Next we're going to do the same for the roughness. Let's add a new layer. And we call it sticker roughness. Normal, transparent. And now we're gonna paint it in the green channel, also like 86, something like that. There we go. And we paint it like that. There we go. Let's export. And as you can see now in the GUI, that sticker, the white of there is no longer metallically, and it's back to a little bit more white. And that looks a little bit more like this drawing. The resolution is not that good, but you can see we have a nice matte car, we have a nice chrome bumper, The white of the sticker is no longer chrome looking as well, and you can really see all the things on the track, what's going on here, reflecting within the chrome of the car. And that is basically it. I had to dig in because I didn't know initially how I could accomplish this, having multiple kind of matte and gloss and chrome into the template, so it works out fine. But as you can see, this looks pretty good, and in the end it is even quite simple. Again, the reference card, I will make sure to put it into the description for you to download, where you have a little bit of a starting point on how you can do this. I hope you enjoyed this. For a very small channel and just beginning, my previous video was well received. I didn't expect that. I appreciate you guys are watching me, and yeah, I hope you can make something nice and have fun. I will see you on track and into the next video. Take care. Bye bye.